The book that I chose to do my adapted book over is called In Our Garden. It's by Pat Miller and Melissa Croton. Now, as you can see on the front, I added a little bit of texture. I put a blue pipe cleaner that indicates what our title is so that the student can find it quickly. I put a white pipe cleaner around the author, which is Pat Miller. And then I put a silver shiny pipe cleaner around the illustrator, which is Melissa Croton. Now, as we open it up, we have another cover page that has the title and the author and the illustrator. So I did the same thing. We had the blue pipe cleaner for our title. We have the white one for our author and the silver one for our illustrator. Now, on the top of each page, I put popsicle sticks so that those with fine motor skills can go ahead and grab a hold of it and be able to turn it better. It's also, each page is in one of these protective covers, so if somebody gets marker or writes on it or something like that, it can clean up a little bit easier. Now, going to our first page, we can see that right here, this little black pom-pom is where the student is supposed to start reading. Again, we have our popsicle sticks on each one. And then you can see as each page we flip through, we have a black pom-pom where we're supposed to start reading. Now on this page, we get to our first vocabulary word. And so for each vocabulary word, I put a white pom-pom so that they can find that vocabulary word quickly in the text. Again, as we continue, you have the popsicle sticks for turning the pages and the black pom-poms for where they start. Same here, just throughout the entire book, it's the same way. Just a black pom-pom indicating where they start, and popsicle stick to turn, and any place, which we haven't got to a vocab word in a little bit, but any place that we start black, any vocab word we have white. And as we just keep flipping through here, you can see in each spot there is an indicator where they're supposed to start. We can see here that there was 2 vocab words, so we have 2 white pom-poms and the black one where they start. Down here we have 1 white and 2 black, or 1 black. And we just keep, each page has that repeating pattern so that the student that's reading has the same thing each time. Nothing changes. Did have to put a few big ones at the end here because I ran out of small ones. Now, at the end of the book, I have my vocab words. The first vocab word that we have is cauliflower. It was one of the words that was talked about. It was kind of funny because the boy in the book didn't know what a cauliflower was. So I thought it would be a fun kind of word that goes with it, that even the boy in the book didn't know what it was, so maybe the kids would struggle with it too, and a definition of what it is, and a picture. The second word is germination. Now it's kind of put in there. They're talking about a garden and growing, so I figured the students, this would be a word that is kind of one of those level 3 or tier 3 words, but they need to know what it means so that they know what's going on. And here's a definition that it is when the cycle of a plant coming from a seed to a plant, and then the picture there. Then the last word is temperature. Now they might know what temperature is if you were talking to them, but seeing the word, it's a big multisyllabic word, so I figured it was a word that they might struggle with. And it's the measure of how hot or cold something is, or the amount of heat it contains. Now also I have the objects that I would show before I would read the book. One of them being cauliflower. Since it is one of my vocab words, I think it's important that the kids see it. They kind of get an idea of what it looks like, what it feels like, and just kind of the get that it's not a flower like the kid in the book thought it was. The other one, now, when I would be doing this in a classroom, I would use actual carrots, but all I had in the fridge was shredded carrots. But it's still the same thing. It's carrots. The main character in the story, her favorite thing is carrots, and that's what she's wanting to grow in the garden. So it continues talking about her carrots throughout the book. And it's also one of my comprehension questions. And, just continuing with the carrot, that this is something that they see and they equate to that. And the final object that I have would bring is potting soil. Because we are talking about a garden, we're talking about, planting a garden, watching a garden grow, growing vegetables. Potting soil is a huge, important factor of that, and it's talked about multiple times. It even equates soil to ourselves as kind of a moral of the story. So I thought it was a really good thing, and it's easy to bring, and you can also use this as in my book. There's areas where it shows soil and potting soil, and I have that texture there, put some glue and some dirt down as texture. And it's also something that the kids can look at and feel and kind of get an idea of what the soil that they're talking about looks like. Now, with the objects and the vocabulary in the book, the last thing we get to is kind of our comprehension questions at the end. Again, I chose questions about the book. The first one being, what does Millie want to build? That's something really important and kind of the main topic of the whole story. And it has two options, a garden or a playground, with pictures corresponding to the option. And so in this case, they're wanting to build a garden, so they would choose a garden. Now, the next question that we come across, and it's kind of an important one too, is they're living in the city, so they don't really have a place to build a garden or to put a garden, and the teacher comes up with, at the school, they have a flat roof, that they're going to make a garden on the roof. So the question here is, where do they build the garden at the school? And the question is, the roof, with a picture of a roof, or the lawn, with a lawn and some grass. And again, the book says that they built it on the roof, so the correct answer and the one they should choose is the roof. Now, the last question was, and this one equates back to the carrot and what the main character wanted the whole time, and it says, what vegetable does Millie eat? And you have a carrot with a picture of the carrot, or a potato with a picture of potato. And because the main character grew carrots and was eating a carrot at the end, the correct answer is A. Now, throughout the book, there's some other kind of texture things, some popsicle sticks and around some of the raised beds that they put as they were talking about building. They were talking about cutting, so I put little pieces of wood so they get a feel of it being wood and that texture. So again, that's kind of everything that goes along with my adapted book. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm ready to see some of y'all's and what y'all made. Thank you.